Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Ryan, aka Kingdom Cards, and today so excited to bring you another video. It's been a hot minute since I've done one, and we've been in a sports card winter. Prices have gone down, and for me, big baseball fan, and this was a hard year anyway for the Royals. Thankfully, we got Bobby Witt, just proving that he's an absolute stud. May do a video on that in the future. We've got the addition of Cole Regans, which sorry Rangers fans, we just trounced you on that trade, and we were due for something like that, us Royals fans. But anyway, it's been a bad year for the Royals. A lot of that optimism that would fuel sports card collecting for me has gone, and also the economy's kind of tight right now, and I'm trying to watch what I'm doing, what I'm spending. So what if I told you guys that there is a hobby that can help you preserve your wealth, but at the same time is a lot of fun and gives you a lot of an enjoyment, and also it's kind of shiny.
Shiny. Shiny.
Kind of shiny. So we're going to get into that. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the rest of this video. All right, so as I said, we're going to be talking about this hobby, and as you could tell from the teaser, it's going to be related to collecting coins, more specifically into the precious metals. But before we do that, just kind of wanted to break down a little bit of my reasoning behind this new hobby. And honestly, I've kind of debated doing this on the channel for a while. It's something that I've been looking into, honestly, for about a year and a half, and have been kind of doing this in the background as I've been doing other videos with my channel, but now just seemed like a good time to do it, kind of with the state that we're in. So why now? Why am I in and looking at this new hobby? Well, as I kind of hinted at and said in the intro, and not gonna rehash it, but right now the sports card industry, we're in a bit of a winter. Prices have slowed down. A lot of that stimulus money is left, and it's not as lucrative to be in cards or selling cards like I was. Orders have really slowed down. Prices have slowed down. On top of that, and probably the bigger thing, is the economy. And as some of you who know me personally, as I mentioned before on the channel, I do work at a financial institution, and I want to stay away from politics on this channel. I think that one of the great things about hobbies, whether it's all kinds of hobbies that I've participated in, whether it's Civil War reenacting, which that can get politically charged, but whether it's Civil War reenacting, whether it's music, I love playing the drums, whether it's baseball cards, sports card collecting, or any kind of card collecting, it brings people together from a lot of different groups of society, different ages, different ethnicities, different genders, things that, might normally divide us, bring us together. Sports is like that too. And so I don't want to make this a political statement, but I will also say, I don't believe we're being told the whole truth right now. And I said this would be a little bit of a somber video, but a good video. And I think that, I'm also one of those people that, I'm always going to point you towards resources. I'm not one of those that just makes a video to make a video. And so I'm going to refer some experts in this field in a minute, because I'm definitely not one. But I've done a lot of research on this, listened to hours each week, it seems, of podcasts of just studying, honing my craft in this area. And there's a lot of areas of the economy that are really weak right now. And my personal belief is I believe that we are going to see a major financial collapse, and it's going to be really bad. It's going to be really bad, guys. I firmly believe this, and I'm not saying that to scare people, because I'm someone that, if you've also watched my channel, I'm someone of faith. I believe in Jesus, and I believe that he's going to take care of us. Also, I believe, just like in the story of Joseph, that he warns us ahead of time of things so that we can be prepared and be ready. Again, I'm not wanting to make this, super faith-based either, because again, just as I was saying, we come at things from a lot of different ideas, backgrounds, faiths, and so this is not in any way to be divisive. The point of all this is, to be prepared. And as I've been looking at the financial state and believing in a very significant economic downturn, what are some ways that I can preserve, my finances and also have fun with it? And so that is where things like this coin come into play. And this is, I'm trying to get the camera to focus, and I'm doing this in the living room as opposed to there we go. That looks a little better. I'm doing this in the living room as opposed to the man cave, because the lighting's better up here, if you can believe that, than it is down there. But one of the ways that you can preserve wealth is precious metals. And over time, precious metals have a track record of preserving wealth. If you look at gold, silver, and you look at the numbers from the last 100 years and compare that to, and especially the last big economic downturn that we had, I say that we had the Great Recession that I lived through, but if you go back to the 70s, 80s time frame, when you had hyperinflation and we were at 17, 18% inflation and higher, that time period, excuse me, I misspoke. We didn't have hyperinflation. We did have some, but not at the high levels as, maybe Turkey or other nations. But anyway, just trying to be factually correct there. If you look at precious metals during that time frame, they have preserved their wealth. And I've found a couple of, really good resources that have really honed my thinking in this area. And so, again, as I said earlier, I'm always going to point you towards resources. So if you're interested in this topic, Gold Silver Pros, they do a podcast and YouTube videos, Silver Seeker, Silver Dragons, Yankee Silver, or I think it's, Yankee Stacking. Some people that I've listened to that are really good at what they do. They know a lot about the precious metals industry. Also Arcadia Economics podcast. They may do YouTube as well. They're good. Mining Stock Education, if you're looking at kind of the more investing, mining stocks. And just to take a pause here, I am a CPA. I do work at a financial institution. With that being said, I am not a personal wealth advisor. I've never had that training. I don't have that schooling, and it would be, quite frankly, irresponsible for you to just take my word on it. I've done that. I've seen some investing and, looking into that, whether it be cryptocurrency or other things. And, which in fairness, I think crypto is going to go up again too, but not, stay on task here, Ryan, right? I'm not trained as a financial advisor, and because of that, you need to do your own research. So anything I'm saying here, it's not financial advice. Please consult your own advisor, your own financial institution. Don't just take my word for it. Take this as hey, that's interesting. Let me do some more research on it. And that's what I did when I started hearing about gold and silver, in particular silver. I did more research on it. So why is this a good hobby? During, to the title of our video, this is about what to do during the sports card winter. Why is this very viable? Well, as you could see from in the coin that I was holding up, this is a American Silver Eagle. You can see it's backwards. The American Silver Eagle on the back. One of the things is silver coins look cool. There's a lot of super awesome designs that can come from that. This is one of my favorites. It's actually one that's in the, in the precious metals, collecting, or in the coins is not as valuable. But this is an Armenian Noah's Ark, and this is, I believe, for 500 dram. But just a really cool design. It has the Noah's Ark there. You can see the eagle, or sorry, not an eagle, but a dove, actually. For this part, guys, let me turn my camera around and show you guys some of the coins that I'm talking through. Give me 1 second. All right, switch my camera around, and this looks way better already. So as you can see the design here, you've got the dove, you've got the arc here, and some people don't like this coin. I think it's awesome. Again, someone of faith. This just, we need an arc to protect our investments, our money right now, because of where the economy's at. And I think this is a great place to start. On the back here, you can see the Republic of Armenia is the one that minted this coin. And I'll go ahead and show that American Silver Eagle here again, just because the camera angle wasn't great. This is a 2022 American Silver Eagle. And there are even more fun designs that you can get from silver coins. This is actually one I recently got in the mail. This is the Sword of Truth series. And this is by the government of Niue. So this is a coin as well. And as you can see here, there's the Sword of Truth. You've got the Crown of Thorns here. You've also got showing that it's pure silver, Hebrew lettering here. Just really cool coin. And then also showing off, this is a Silver Britannia. This is made by the Royal Mint. You can see there is, at the time, Prince Charles, soon to be King Charles, and actually already King Charles, but I believe at the time of that minting, he was not in office. And then here, of a Canadian maple leaf, and this is one of my favorites of the sovereign mints. Just look at the shine on that. Absolutely gorgeous. So as you can see from some of those coins, some really awesome designs, and there's even more collectability that comes into these. Mints will have specialty. There's some that do Marvel series. There will be, almost any design you can think of can be done on precious metals, and they're shiny, they're cool. But on top of that, there's also the, collectability aspect of that, which is called numismatics, which is, specialty coins. Maybe they're minted in limited runs, very similar to sports cards. And in fact, there's a whole grading industry around coins as well. I've kind of shied away from that. I don't understand it quite as well. But it's a really, awesome way to go too. And, I think to see that actually a lot of the sports cards industry has already gone this way. You look at PWCC, which I've done some purchases from, some sales from, so you can see those videos on my channel. There's a lot of people, when they first started, and this was probably about 6 months ago, selling numismatics, PWCC, they had like maybe 10, 20 in an auction. Now there's typically anywhere from 400 to 500 each weekly auction. And that can sometimes rival a major sports amount of cards that are on there. So there's obviously a huge demand for this. And I think it's because people are like me. They're seeing that, hey, money's getting tight right now, and I still want to have a hobby, but I still want to see, have some value. Hey, let's go look into coins. And so you may say, well, okay, Ryan, these are great. They're shiny, but like, where's the value? Well, unlike a baseball card, which again, I'm not stopping collecting sports cards. I'm not stopping collecting, the football cards or whatever. But why this is valuable is, unlike a card that typically doesn't have any more intrinsic value other than, if it's autographed or just on its numbered printing, in reality, it's paper. That's not the case with precious metals. Each one of those coins that you saw is 1 ounce of 0.9999 fine silver. Silver right now is at, I think I saw this morning, it's about $23 an ounce. So does the price of silver fluctuate? Yes, it does. But also, that silver coin is at a minimum going to be worth $23. So the value of each of those coins, and there's things like premiums and stuff like that. I'm not going to get into that in this video. But in reality, at a minimum, your coin is worth $23 today. So the value stays there. I would argue, much more than baseball cards, football cards, etc. Also, you may say, well, prices can fluctuate. Maybe you've looked at cryptos or other things and you're like, hey, how do I know that this is going to keep its value? Well, gold is primarily a monetary metal. I do have a little bit of gold, but mostly I've been looking at kind of collecting a couple silver coins here and there. Why have I leaned towards silver? Well, silver is not only a precious metal, but it's also an industrial metal. You may not realize this, but your phone, whether you've got an iPhone or an Android, I'm team Android. Hopefully that doesn't lose likes on the video or anything like that. My wife has an Apple phone, guys. We can all get along together in this world. But silver is in your computer parts, in your phones. It's in solar panels, which where you've got this big clean energy initiative that we're trying to go to. Silver's part of that. Batteries, other things. Actually, I'd have to check on the batteries, but again, there's so many applications for silver. It's used in the medical field. It's a metal that has a lot of utility. You hear that word a lot when talking about some financial instruments. Does it have utility? Well, silver is always going to have value. As we go more technical, as we go towards more clean energy, and not all clean energy is bad, we're just going to see an increase of metal and the demand for metal. On top of that, again, look at the guys that have done the research, Gold Silver Pros, some of the other people that I mentioned earlier in the video. But if you look at silver, there is a deficit on the amount of silver that's being demanded right now, as opposed to what they're being able to get out of the ground. Now, I'm just going to wet your whistle with that, but again, do more research, look into this. But actually, for the last 4 to 5, and I think this might be the 5th year, silver, there has been more demanded in the economy than there is getting out of the ground. So what does that mean? We're headed towards a silver shortage, guys. And what happens during a shortage? Prices go up. Now, again, not a financial advisor. Use your own judgment, do your own research. Again, be smart with your wealth, your finances, whatever you have. To me, it's a no-brainer, right? To pick up, as opposed to, hey, maybe I'm going to buy that $28, $29, $30 baseball card or football card. I think I'm going to buy an American Silver Eagle, or I'm going to buy a Britannia, or I'm going to buy a Canadian Maple Leaf, or whatever, an Armenian Noah's Ark. I'm going to do that instead and diversify. It's never a bad thing to diversify. So that was a lot. I want to keep this video fairly short. I'm going to do my best to try and keep it fairly short. I know I can get long-winded, but I would love to hear your thoughts on this video. And this video is kind of actually a bit of a fleece, a trial run, if you will. Again, I've kind of shied away from making this content on my channel, but if this is interesting, if this does get a bit of a following and there is a bit of an interest, I'll definitely make more of these videos. Maybe make another channel to cover it, however. So if you are interested in this, I would love you to like this video, comment, just tell me what you're thinking about this. Does this sound interesting? And I'd love to hear too, hey, is there other hobbies you're doing in the sports card winter other than, for me, it's coin collecting, it's, focusing on fantasy football right now, it's, playing music, and I've got a couple of side hustles you may hear more about later on the channel, but that's primarily what I'm doing. But I'd love to hear what you're doing. Even if you're not interested in this topic, is there other things that you're doing right now? So, and again, if you are interested in this topic, please like the video, please comment, just so that I know that there is some interest in this. And if there is, I'll keep doing it. So with that, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. And I will see you next time. Blessings.